Let's talk. This is my second or third video of these Let's Talk videos, so let me know if you like these or not. This one's going to be an LGBTQ plus Let's Talk, because of all the controversy going around about how there should be an S for straight and how straight people should be included in the LGBT community. And here's my perspective on that. So, yeah. Let's talk, I guess. So, I want to apologize. This video is raw, unedited, like all my Let's Talk videos are. I recorded on my phone. Again, like all my Let's Talk videos are. So, yeah. The LGBTQ plus community is a community of people who are different, who don't fit in society's norms, who don't necessarily be accepted by everyone. However, straight people, they are society's norms. Being straight is privilege. Straight privilege is the same thing as white privilege. It exists. I'm also going to be talking a lot of the straight versus black privilege, I guess. Well, white privilege versus black heritage. I don't know how to like word that properly, but yeah, you get my point, I guess. So, like, so, if you are straight, okay, so first let's talk about this musical I found a while ago. Well, not really that long ago, it was only a couple weeks, I think, maybe. But it was basically this girl who sounds like she's about 8, 9, doesn't really know what she's talking about, saying, like, people are saying it's LGBTQ plus, but really it's LGBTQS plus. Straight people get killed for being straight, gay people do not. But let me remind everyone about the gay club shooting that happened a few years back, about 5 years, I think. 5 years ago. About 5 years ago. Back in 2013, I think. It's around that area of time, I guess. But I'm not 100% sure on the year. But the Orlando club shooting, it was a gay club, meaning gay people. The second largest mass shooting in U.S. history. The first largest was actually the Las Vegas shooting, with over 500 injured, over 50 dead. So, yeah. I'm not 100% sure how many people died. I think it was 49. If I remember correctly, it was 49 people died at the Orlando club shooting. Meaning that gay people have died for being gay. Which is really terrifying, because I've been told off by a gay guy before for being bi, and we're in the same community, we're a part of the same era. It says in 18 and you need to learn how to accept change. Straight people are privileged. Same thing with cis white people. Straight cis white people are so freaking privileged, it's not even funny. Because, for example, if a black person or a person of color were to run a red light, chances are that there's a higher chance that they can be arrested than if a white person was to run a red light. Because if a black person were to run a red light, one, they would either get arrested, or two, they would be pat down because the officer thinks they're holding drugs or some sort of weapon. A white person runs a red light, however, it's different. Chances are they'll just be ticketed, unless, obviously, acting like they're on drugs. But if a black person just runs a red light, and it's obviously not on drugs, they're still going to be pat down and have to take a drug test or arrested. But most of the time, a white person just gets ticketed. Which is really depressing if you think about it, because white privilege is a thing. And I hate that black people and white people are treated differently, but they are. And it's really messed up because black people have the stigma of gangs and drugs and weapons and violence, but I've met my best friend in 7th grade was black, and she was the sweetest thing ever. She wouldn't hurt a fly, but if her dad got pulled over or something, she might have to grow up without a dad. And it's really fucked up. For example, if a gay guy were, like, okay, so people saying that there needs to be straight in the LGBT community is also in the wrong, because in certain countries, in quite a bit of countries, over half of our countries, all over the world, still has gay marriage illegal, and some of those countries even have the death sentence if you are caught holding the hand of the person you love, which is fucked, because it shouldn't be that way. Being gay should not be something that you have to legalize. It's not something that it's like, oh, this was illegal, let's make it legal now, because it's like, okay, so I am semi-religious, so I'm going to apologize for that in this video, because I'm going to bring up the Bible and God. And if you're an atheist, I totally support you, and please support me on this. So a lot of people will quote the Bible and then tell everyone that God hates gays. I'm not going to say the exact quote of the Bible because, again, I do have a lot of atheist followers, and I don't want to make any of them uncomfortable. And the being gay is a sin talk. But honestly, why would God hate his own creations? I personally believe the Bible was never written by God, and it was written by like some fairy tale. Because honestly, why would God hate his own creations? Like, I believe in the Bible. I do. I really do. But the Bible that we all read today, I believe has been edited by somebody else and was not the original copy, which is pretty true. It has been edited by other people, which is why there's so many out there, and why pretty much everyone says something different. And yeah, being gay may be a sin, but why would he hate his own creations? God himself, our Father, the person that we are supposed to worship, does not hate gays, because he's the one that created us. We didn't just make it up, and we didn't just appear out of nowhere, because that's not how it works. Like, for example, for a while I didn't believe in a God. I didn't believe in Jesus Christ. I didn't believe in any of the Lords, until I started thinking, yeah, but how did the first humans come onto Earth if it wasn't from our Lord? How did the first person walk this planet? Because people can't just appear out of nowhere. And a lot of people say, well, it's from cells, but what cells? It's not like another woman could have given birth. And people are saying, oh, well, you don't see any of the Lords being gay. But here's the thing. You didn't see them be gay because God was the first man on earth. And that's kind of odd, I guess. That nobody really knows how or who walked Earth first. And nobody really knows why. But I'm going to stop talking about my religion now and continue to talk about the LGBTQ community. Being straight is a privilege, which I've said many times. Being cisgender, meaning you were born and you identify as the gender you were born as. For example, if you were born as a boy, you identify as a boy. If you were born as a girl, you identify as a girl. So, yeah. It is a privilege. Also, intersex. Let me talk about that. Intersex. Intersex is not LGBT. It is a birth defect. And I know that may sound really bad for me to say, but I've met some intersex people that even got mad at people for saying they were in the LGBT community because they aren't. I had a friend who was intersex who used to tell everyone not to refer to him as in the LGBT community. Because although he has nothing wrong with the LGBT community and he supports everyone who's in it, he is not in it. Because you were born gay. That's something that you were born and you figure out in the future because you weren't taught to know who to love. Because while growing up, a girl is taught to like boys and a boy is taught to like girls. And sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you were taught. And that's just messed up, I know, but it's a sad truth. Like white privilege, again, said it before. A white person will be treated differently in terms of the law than a black person. And the chances of a black person being killed is much higher than the chances of a white person being killed. And guess what? Most of the people that kill those black people are white. Like, think about it. All these mass shootings that have gone on, people always assume that, oh, it's black people that do everything wrong and that they're, like, connected to gangs and weapons and violence. But let's think about it. All these mass shootings have been going on, the school shootings, most of them, if not all of them, were done by white people. But nobody thinks about that because white privilege. Like, come on now. Yeah, obviously there are a few black people who are into violence and gangs and drugs and stuff, but so are the white people. And so are the Latinos and Latinas and every other heritage you can think of. Or when, I don't know what it's called, but please correct me if you know what it's called. Well, I know how to, like, what it is, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So if anyone can help me out with it in the comments, that'd be awesome. But the thing that, like, most Muslims wear on their head, it starts with an H, has a J in it, I think. But I don't know how to pronounce it. So please help me out if you know. And then associating them with bombers and terrorism. I had a Muslim friend also. I seem to get along with every, religion and race that you can think of, but she was the sweetest person ever, but people associated her with terrorism just because of her religion. But if you think about it, not all terrorists are Muslim. The only ones you hear about are Muslim or black. You never hear about the white terrorists. Because when there is white terrorism, they cover it up with some stupid lie like, oh, a nice guy that just lost his mind or something. But no, we all know that's not true, but nobody's willing to admit it. Nobody is willing to admit that they're in the wrong when it comes to religion or race. Because not everyone is the bad guy. Yeah, you can't trust everyone, especially the ones you meet online, because you never know who they are. But you can't assume that everyone's a bad guy. Us as the LGBT community should not be worried about leaving our house and not coming home alive. We should not go to school fearing that we are going to be shot and that or our best friend would die next to us. We should not, the black or people of color should not be worried about going shopping and coming home to see their kids. It's really fucked up if you think about it. And I'm going to stop rambling and end the video here. So if you have any more you want to add, please add it down in the comments. And this is the end of this Let's Talk video. So yeah. Peace out, my little raindrops, and bye!